This is KARL-JAMES Langford presenting my daily diaries on June the 18th, and this is the year 2014, and the day is Wednesday. It's been an interesting type of day, and I've decided that I constantly get asked questions by fellow actors and those wishing to go into acting about how they go about setting up website profiles and so on. So today's theme is starting new things, and also the other theme that I've been thinking about, causing a bit of controversy to those concerned, is about decluttering as well. So let's do a bit of both going back and forth. So one basic thing is that I keep being asked various different things about how to organise an acting CV, profile photographs, setting up a website, about your acting talents, which casting agencies to go to, casting agents, and so on and so on, and advice about getting more acting work and experience. And I'm thinking, I'm hard at work doing all this myself, and I thought, well, maybe get a group of enthusiastic people together on a regular day of the week and to start a little group. And I've come up with the idea of GOAT Productions. Basically, quick translation of that covers absolutely everything, is great original acting talents. There's a lot of great original acting talent out there, and some people just go off because there's very little advice out there. There's so many websites, so many people wishing to point you in the right direction, things you wish to hear, but some people never get there and they give up. It's known, for example, that most males that go into acting in their late teens, early 20s, if they haven't found work by the time they're 30, they have a tendency of leaving the profession. So there's a good big gap of people that should be filling their roles in their 30s, and there's a bit of a void. So that's where I come in. So I'm thinking of starting up a little bit of a Facebook group and a regular meeting every week. So if you're interested in any of that out there, as I said last week about a regular acting evening on Wednesday, just taking it a little bit further so we can discuss things, go over lines, look at the computer, look at different things people need to do. That would be a really good exercise. Something else as well that the person who mentioned about my fire alarm battery, have you heard that little bleep going off this evening? Nope, because there's a new battery in there. Well, sort of new, tested it out, it works. So hopefully not going to have that bleep for some time, but as with these things, listen out, it might start bleeping any moment. The other thing this evening was about decluttering. I find that I'm surrounded by so much clutter from so many different years of thinking that this is important, this is that important, and so on and so on. And I just think, well, I've got a garden now, just throw it in a bonfire and get rid of it. So people object to getting rid of books and various different things that are rather tatty. And they say, oh, take them to a charity shop where they might be useful. I completely don't agree with that, because why should you give your rubbish that is no real good to anybody, why go through the time of taking them to charity shops and wasting their time by disposing of it later? Just get rid of it. We don't need all this trash. So many of us think that we should put things in a bag and take them to a charity shop. We don't get around to doing it, so it's still there, still there. Some of us got stuff in plastic carry bags, don't put out for the rubbish. But if you just get rid of it, just by throwing it on the fire in the house or whatever, it's gone. That's the way I look at it. Just declutter, get rid of things. I've got 100 CDs to get rid of. Can't do it tomorrow because I've got a long day in work. But just getting rid of these CDs all scratched. And somebody said to me, "Oh, why didn't you give them to me? You can't throw them away or burn them or whatever." I'm thinking, it's my property. I can get rid of it. I don't want this clutter. I'm sick of clutter. I'm sick of loads of bits of paper and books and all this nonsense around me all the time. Just get rid of it. I don't need people telling me to take it to charity shops and stuff. I haven't got time. So just get rid of it. I want to be in a situation where I've got fewer and fewer things in my life. Because if anything happened to me, I don't need to think about how my stuff is going to be disposed of. And if I'm no longer around, I don't want to leave a legacy of my rubbish to then be thrown in a skip. And what have I been worrying about all my life? So just get rid of it. So that's the decluttering thing. And I watched Room 101 this evening. Yes, I do occasionally watch stuff. Not a lot. I've been watching the football a lot, actually. Interesting. Chile did really well this evening. Just like to mention, I watched Room 101 this evening, and there was a presenter on there called Steve Jones. And he said something that I really, really believe, that when you get birthdays, Valentine's days, mums and dad's days, you're forced to buy people cards and presents and stuff. And I'm thinking, no, don't do it. Don't always buy people cards and presents. What a waste. Talking to my daughter about this the other day, and it was like, well, why do you need to give at Christmas time? I used to have 50, 60 cards at Christmas. Wicked. I only have about 2 or 3 now, which is brilliant. And even if I do, they're from my children and I keep them. But you just think of the weight of getting rid of 50, 60 cards. Some people have hundreds and hundreds of cards, and you've got to write and waste all that money. Why? Just phone people, see them, spend time with them, and that's the best way. And stuff buying people presents. The only people I buy presents for now is my children, and usually encourage them to buy them clothes. Don't give them a card now either, because what are they going to do with the card after Christmas? Oh, that's a card from Dad. Fine, forget it. So just do things that are useful. The smallest things are best, Taking your children to the beach several times a year is much better than buying them loads of presents that they're just going to have to get rid of, Just stop having this thing about cluttering up your house and so on. Live, breathe by getting rid of all your horrible things. So, I've got a coin collection now, selling the lot, don't need it anymore. And can't really burn coins, so just selling them. So that's good. So that's Steve Jones on Room 101. Watch it. That was really, really good this evening. Don't go for enforced present buying, he said. And just something else as well. Had a load of food. Had about £30 worth of meat given to me. I don't really eat meat at all. So I thought, right, I'm going to open all the packets, get rid of all the meaty packets and stuff, burnt that because it smells. There's no point taking it out to the rubbish man. So I had all this meat, so I spread it all over the garden and watched as I was typing away on the computer. And the next thing, a big flock of seagulls came down and they were guzzling up all the meat, and it was brilliant. It was a really good sight to see. Some people say that seagulls are vermin. I don't agree. They're lovely, beautiful creatures. So it was watching them chattering and looking around at all this meat, and there was this one bird, right? He was and this is about decluttering as well, but there was this one seagull. He had one big piece of chicken, and he gobbled it down, a whole breast of chicken, and then he had a really good chunk of really good quality lamb fresh lamb, and he guzzled that up, and he almost fell over because he was just so fat, and then he tried to fly away, and it was just, he couldn't fly away, and yeah, he did eventually get up into the air. And another seagull did the same thing, and it was really funny watching the seagulls do this. So I put a photograph of that on my Facebook, and I'm sure people will refer to the seagulls as being rats on wings. I don't agree. They just get rid of all your rubbish, and that's fine. Good. Well done, the seagulls. And anyway, it was a really good quality meat I was giving them, and they really enjoyed that, so that was great. And one other thing, photograph I put on Facebook, one of the acting photographs I put on there, and I've had loads of comments, and really good positive comment. And a small group on Facebook that's building up seem to like my acting stuff, and they commented on the image, and comparing me with various famous stars. Um, so yeah, and I'm better than the Batman, and I should be in Batman and stuff. And yeah, great. Let's just get my film career really up there on the big screen. I've only done one feature film so far, and I've done three short films this year as well, and loads of other stuff. But yeah, I'm getting there. So we'll soon see. Anyway, this is Karl James Langford. Enough of my bantering. This is Karl James Langford reporting again on the 18th of June, Wednesday, and hopefully speak to you all tomorrow, Thursday. Big England game, but nobody wants to talk about that, do they? But anyway, speak to you all tomorrow, and thanks again for listening. Bye.